What's up? How's it going, everybody? Good to be here. Good to see you. I had a different show planned for tonight, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard the news. We'll cover it here only because, and I'll tell you this. Let me just kill that music because it's killing my vibe. I had a whole different show planned for tonight, and this is not something that I take lightly in talking about or feel great about talking about. However, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong, we have over the last couple of years, Cam and Allie and I have shared a lot of the same subscribers, not all, but a lot of the same subscribers that watch this show, have watched them, whether you be a fan or not of either. And as it goes, Cam specifically and I have had some rough interactions about the Summer Wells case, along with McDonough. He's taken many shots at me and Chris, and that's all fine. And I let it all go, and I have no hard feelings about that. But the one thing that I always found interesting was that there was always something wrong. I understood. I'm not an addiction specialist by any means. I don't know what it's like to be addicted to anything. And Cam in the past has admitted to having addiction problems. That being said, let me see here. That being said, Cam and Allie both have been charged with I believe it's child abuse, possibly let me see, I want to read it correctly here. I don't want to put it up there because it's got all the child abuse and disregard of life, which by no means is that is not a small charge at all. That's very serious charge. And for somebody who covers children's cases, I believe that's just asinine. I would never have thought that somebody that was actively in the throes of what I thought was addiction. And we'll read Cam's post here in a minute to be fair, because I want to be fair here. And I really don't enjoy this conversation. I don't enjoy talking about this kind of stuff, but I think that I think it's necessary. I think that, people have talked about less with others and found it important. I typically don't find off of YouTube issues important. Typically, I don't find them important. This is important because, like I said, we have shared a lot of the same subscribers, a lot of the same people kind of float around it's actually separated quite a bit over the last year or so, meaning I've noticed a drop off there and an increase here. And that's because it seemed like it was apparent what was going on was that Cam, I don't know so much about Allie, or I don't know anything about Allie, but that Cam had been struggling. That's, to put it mildly. Now, I don't know what kind of struggles. I don't want to assume that I know, but I've been around people that have had addiction problems in the past. And it's weird that this is coming out now. However, and I'm going to read his post here in a second, and then I'm going to react to it because, and I'm just going to tell you this right now, Cam, Allie, I wish you all the best, but I'm less concerned about you, and I'm more concerned about your children. I hope that they're okay. I hope that you're okay. I hope that everybody's okay. You have choice. Am I back? I'm back. Wait, am I back? All right, I'm back. Am I there? Let me make sure I'm back. Am I back? All right, I'm back. Adults have choices. Children suffer the consequences of those choices and those actions. One of the reasons that I absolutely despise covering children cases is because the sensitivity that it takes sometimes escapes me, and I try, but sometimes I get angry, and I shouldn't, because that's not what a child advocate does. And I don't claim to be a child advocate. Now, I have advocated for children in the past. There's no doubt about that, but I do not walk around with a sign that says child advocate. It's not exactly my mission in life. It's not exactly what I strive to do every day. But typically, if a child needs to be advocated for, I got no problem with that. I grew up with abused children. I grew up with children from domestic violence homes. And people that sit there and just claim, I'm a child advocate, well, there's not a lot of actual people that dedicate their lives full time to it, but there are some, including people that work at CPS. So God bless anybody who advocates for anybody. I wouldn't say that I'm a child advocate. I would say that people that are defenseless, those are the people that we advocate for. Those are the people that we try to help. But child cases specifically, very tough to kind of navigate, very tough to feel like you're doing right. That's just my personal opinion. I just think I fall short constantly when it comes to that. Now, this is released from Crackin Cases. Cam specifically, I believe, just a couple of hours ago. We're writing this post to let you guys know what we have been going through, that I've been telling you about. My mother went and lied and said that we were on drugs, just like people had done before when calling CPS. and went and filed emergency custody order saying that we were on drugs and we're going through an eviction, and they granted her custody till a later date. Now, once again, this is Cam. I believe both of their responses to the allegations levied against them. And once again, these are charges. There's no court yet. So it is kind of but being charged is a major step. Okay. Being charged is a big step. There has to be reasonable evidence, or there has to be reasonable suspicion, or to get charged and to lose your children. The bar is high. Okay. So here we go. We went and filed emergency custody order saying that we were not on drugs and we're going through an eviction. Okay, they granted her. I got the eviction dismissed in court. And after her finding out it was dismissed, I then was arrested for this, saying that I had done drugs in the house where the kids were. Now, I do not believe that is something that I mean, look, I don't know if you can just tell a cop that you have in the past done drugs with kids in the house and you get arrested for it. I don't think that is how that works. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think, and I'll have to check that, because I don't think that's true. I don't think if you you admit to something like that and then whatever. Okay. I've done drugs in the house. Okay. If you have followed us and know anything about us, you know that we are not those kinds of people, and I will get this thrown out of court and my children back. I promise you that. My mom is doing this to try to get money from the state. She lost her job the day before taking my children. If you've heard my testimony and know anything about my mother, she's an evil person and will do anything for money. Well, look, I don't think that this is not a get rich quick scheme by your mother, Cam. I find that very, very hard to believe. I don't believe that this is the way for someone to get money, nor do I think that the court would hand them over to such an evil person. But we'll let this play out. All right. Let's see here. So she is hurt me in my entire life, and now she's trying to do it by taking my children. She has no regard for her own. She has no regard for her own children, and we're fighting her in court for this. I'm asking you to believe in us, and you know who we are, and that you know this is not true. We have failed no drug screens for CPS. I find that hard to believe, but okay. And they're pulling at straws to try and make this stick. We're going through one of the hardest battles and tribulations of our life. I never thought my mother would do this to me or my children, because my children are happy and loved. Just because someone is charged with something doesn't mean they're convicted of it. That's true. And I'm asking y'all to please stand behind us as we go through this. And you will see that there is no fact in her allegations against me. Me and my wife are good people, and we're good parents, and always have been, and would never, ever hurt our children. And even if a parent was on drugs, it does not mean they're a bad parent. That's true. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, once again, with that sentiment. Like I said, it's not true. And I will have this proven in court and dismissed. They placed both my children with my mother, who has been charged and convicted of distribution. I'm sorry. Wait, come on, dude. Distribution of drugs, amongst other things. And I will continue to fight I didn't mean to laugh. It's just shocking that this is even in here. It's a fight that we're having CPS investigated as they advise my mom to pretty much kidnap my children when she had no custody at all over them. These are lies. I swear to God in heaven, my heavenly Father, who I pray to every time we are on live stream. I place my whole heart and trust in him as he knows the truth about my wife and I. God bless. And I hope you will wait to see the outcome. We love you all, Cam and Allie. So I would probably agree with people if they were to say, hey, like this this isn't like YouTube related or whatever, but it actually kind of is, because I mean, he's making public statements on YouTube and now defending himself and going after his mother publicly. Reminds me of somebody else that I know and have spoke with several times. And I'm I'm baffled, and it's odd. You know, it's the thing about the thing about drugs specifically is, and I'm not saying this specifically about Cam, but they turn you in to just the person that you're not. Now, I'm not saying that this is Cam or this isn't Cam. I don't know Cam other than the few interactions I've had with him on YouTube, maybe some emails. He made a 6-part series about how I was disrespectful to him when he just tried to ask a question in my chat. But other than that, like there hasn't been much communication, nor will there be, ever has been. But I got to tell you, what you're charged with is extremely serious. These are not little baby CPS charges. You know, it's not like your house is dirty. That could have something to do with it, but I don't know that. I mean, when they're charging you with flat out felony child abuse and disregard for life, meaning that means that you care so little for your children that they could die in your custody and you aren't going to do anything to fix that, whether that be malnourishment, whether that be them not getting their shots and going to school, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, doing drugs in the house, smoking cigarettes in the house. There's a lot of things. There are a lot of things that somebody said that he just posted again. Really? Okay, well, let's read it. This literally was 10 minutes ago. All right. We'll get back to that in a second. I'll read it though. Here's a copy of our order from when Cam's egg donor. Jesus. Here's well, so basically what somebody just said, what is a here, hold on. Somebody asked what a it's a class 6 felony mean. So obviously each state, that is a Virginia type ruling. The class 6 felony child abuse, typically when you're over, I don't know what level it is, but it's punishable by minimum of a year in prison, a minimum. That's the standard. So if you're found guilty and they give you the minimum charge, you get a year in lockup. I mean, that's a big punishment. Okay. And just like that, straight off the bat. Okay, so here's a copy of the order from when Cam's egg donor filed for temporary custody of our kids. Mind you, she had not stepped foot in our home or seen our children well over 6 months. When she did this, she lost her job the day before. She filed this because her employer found out that she had lied to them and that she had a criminal history that stemmed from her own addiction. I can't confirm any of this. If you have followed us for any amount of time, you know that Cam, this looks like it's Allie writing now. Cam has been 100% transparent about the fact that he was the first person to ever, she was the first person to ever do drugs with him when he was 14. My God. You guys are not victims, Cam and Allie. You're not, what are you doing? You're not victims. Your kids are the victims. Get it together. I mean, this is your response to this. I didn't even make it past the first paragraph. This is crazy. You're not the victims. I know you'll claim to be victims like Don. Don Wells says he's the victim of CPS too. You have Tim Mullen today writing that the Wells were scammed by CPS. How stupid are you, Tim? You're very stupid. This is stupid. Fix what you've done. Just fix it. If you're allowed to, fix it. I mean, this is nuts. If you have followed us for any amount of time, you know that Cam has been 100% transparent about the fact that he was the first person to ever drugs to him when he was 14 years old. You also should know that she frequently had him put in juvenile detention because she didn't want to raise her own children. Every time that Cam has ever had something good happening in his life, she has done everything possible to try and sabotage him and ruin his life. This is by far the worst thing that she's ever done. This all started because she found out that we were planning to move out of state and she lost her job. This has been nothing but a scheme. I don't know if this is in Virginia or not. This is nothing but a scheme by her own to try to get money. All of my entire family, as well as the remainder of Cam's family, are standing behind us because they know that all these allegations are bullshit. We've had multiple friends and neighbors who have volunteered to go to court on our behalf. That has to attest for something. As Cam stated in the previous post, our local CPS agency is being investigated because of what they have to us and others. We've heard from police investigator that our county currently has 1,200 open CPS cases. We aren't sure what's going on, but obviously something is not right. If you guys recall, we just had a CPS case closed a few months ago prior to this happening by the same CPS worker due to false calls and unfounded allegations from YouTube. Our children are literally our entire universe, and we love them both with our whole hearts. We had been living in a nightmare that just keeps getting worse, but the hardest part is being away from our kids. The only reason we even started our channel was to help our children, which we have successfully done. We don't deserve what is happening to us, and neither do our children. Allie, if you're going to write one of these, you should say, our children don't deserve what is happening to them. Don't lead with yourself. It's not a good look. You're leading with yourself. We don't deserve what's happening to us. Our children don't deserve what is happening to us. There you go. I'll fix it for you. If you guys have watched us, you can say whatever you want about me. My kids are raised 18, 19, soon to be 19 and 20. And my God, I've never been more happy about it and proud that I've been able to avoid bullshit like this. And it wasn't very hard either. I never even thought about it. It never came up in the thought process. It was just, I don't know. I don't know how this kind of stuff happens. I really, really don't get it at all. If you guys have watched this at all, this is again, if you've watched this at all, you should know that the things being said, allegations are straight up BS. We never had our children on our channel. I don't know if any of that is true. To protect them, and many times when I was present on live stream, it was because I was with my kids. Cam has been nothing short of an amazing father and husband. And I've tried my hardest to be the best mother to my kids that I can be. You guys know that we have built our channel by standing on the premise of innocence until proven guilty. That's true. I remember that. Even when it's glaring and staring you right in the face. The majority of our followers have always claimed to believe in this as well. We're asking that you guys please believe in that. Now, we are in need of support and prayers more than anything right now. We know the truth, and most importantly, God knows the truth, Allie. Okay, so, I mean, I guess probably just a matter of time before there's a what would you call that? GoFundMe for their legal fees or something. I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's next or not. But their mother apparently, I don't know their mother, and I don't want to speak on it because I don't know anything about her. But they're openly trashing her, and now this is whataboutism again to the 10th degree. It's ridiculous. It's I mean, just fix it, dude. Just like just fix whatever it is. I mean, if you're allowed to get your kids back, if they're going to give you a program to work to let your kids back into your life, God bless you. I don't know exactly what the charges stem from. I just know that the charges are the charges. I hope that there is something or some program or something, but I mean, it's obvious to most people. It's obvious to most people that something wasn't right. I mean, I've watched them before to just because I know that they have contact with Don and Candace, and Don had even claimed to me that he had kicked Cam out of his house. Cam denies this, and I think Don does too, but I mean, it's on tape that they were doing drugs, and Don claims to have kicked him out. I doubt that happened, but that's what Don says about everybody. And it's sorry, I haven't been paying attention to Kimmy. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate you being here, Kimmy. KP Baz, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate it as well, Karen. And Linda Dunn has also became a YouTube member. Work the program and get right. You know, like I said, I only can assume that this is all drug related. I don't think that Cam and Allie are sitting there sober. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are, but I don't. I just know what drugs do to families, and this is how it works. This is a cookie cutter scenario of children being taken away from parents by the parents who get custody orders. And what happens is now the parents are going to attack the parents and blame them for every bad thing that has ever happened in their life. I'm messed up because of you. And that's what you're going to see here. And you'll see it in a million other cases because it's the eject button. It is the button that says, I take no responsibility for my actions. I'm messed up because of my parents. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm messed up because of my parents too, because of what happened, what went down with my parents. No question about it. None. But if I blame them the rest of my life, not my mother, God bless her. She's protected me, saved my life. But if I blame my father for everything that went wrong in my life every single day, he would ruin my entire life instead of just a portion of it. Just a portion of it. I feel a lot of sorrow for the children, the mother. God bless her for stepping up. Because if this is the case, if this is true, what is happening, then I mean, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. The threshold here is pretty high. You know, they're attacking CPS, attacking the mother, attacking the people that are trying to protect children seems to be the move lately. And it's not a good one, in my opinion. I just don't think that it holds much weight. If the mother, if the grandmother felt it necessary to petition the court for, they're not just going to go, yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. No, there has to be evidence. There has to be a reason. They're not going to do it blindly. They're not going to do it blindly. They can't, because people do weaponize CPS. People do weaponize children. People say, well, you know, that's one of the things that people do a lot is, yeah, I don't want you around me and I don't want you around my children. And you're like, well, I don't really give a shit about being around you. I care about being around your children. That's how people try and hurt people these days. I get it. And it sucks. And I hope that that's not what's happening here. But you got to remember that the bar is really high for this kind of stuff. It's not, it's just not up for debate. The standard is high. So blaming people every step of the way is not going to fix anything for you. You stand in front of a judge and you bring this with you and this is your defense. Good luck. Good luck. Just because you pray on a live stream doesn't make you a Christian. And just because you don't pray on a live stream doesn't make you not a Christian. Just because you praise God publicly doesn't make you a good person. And just because you don't doesn't make you a bad person. The only thing that God has to do with this is trying to save children. That's it. That's what God has to do with this. Every sentence that you read here is them throwing themselves first. We don't deserve this. We did this and she did that. Well, I mean, the kids are an afterthought. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's not, this is about your children. I don't know. You know, people are asking me details about their children. I don't know details about their children. I don't want to know details about them. I don't know how old they are and I don't know their names. I don't even know their genders. I just know what is being said here publicly and that they are charged with a very serious crime. Very serious. I mean, this isn't, you got to understand what kind of charge this is. Let me see here. And by the way, they have both been charged, from what I understand. Not convicted. Remember, innocent until proven guilty. But let's see here. So you got, and I don't understand. It says release to a parent or responsible adult, like their children. I don't understand that either. I mean, so they're released to an adult or a responsible person. What the hell does that have to do with anything? I mean, Cam would admit that this isn't even his first go around, and because it's not. And I don't know. I just, don't treat people like they're stupid. Cam used to come into my chat constantly and be like, why is Mr. McDonough on YouTube? Fool, why are you on YouTube? Why? I mean, what are you doing? Sounds like you got bigger fish to fry. Come in and tell you, hey, but and then goes and makes this whole 6-part stupid soliloquy of I was just asking, question. He said, if Mr. McDonough, if you had such a successful career, why are you on YouTube? Like what? Like all the other the doctors and the, every time I would have Chris on, it was just like, he just would go after Chris. And then he would always ride me about look at what you're doing to the parents, Don this and Candace that, and deer stands this and friggin' footprints that. It's just like, I just came to a point where I go, there's nothing over here that I need to listen to you about anymore. And I really do hope that people, while taking information from these people, understand exactly what they are charged with. A serious crime. Not much different. And then Dawn apparently is disavowing Cam and Allie. I mean, I think you guys should all throw your names in the same hat and mix them around, and then see who wants to pay for the lawyer first, because you guys all got an uphill battle. Oh my God, there was so many. It was just constant questioning. Why are you like this? What, this and that. And he would it was, I didn't understand. Like, I don't even know him. But it was just like constant. I'll never understand how you go from getting your children taken in a emergency court ordered situation to blaming your egg donor. And Allie, I don't know what relationship you have with Cam's mother, but and I'm sure you're very mad at her, and I'm sure this is all, but look, this has been going on for quite some time. People are just finding out about it. It's been a couple weeks. And they wait till it starts flying around to address it, which is normal, but you think you could come up with something a little better than what I'm reading here. I mean, listen, if you have followed us for any amount of time, you know that Cam has been 100% transparent about the fact that she was the first person to ever, I imagine, said give drugs to him when he was 14 years old. People have bad childhoods. People have bad relationships with their parents, and you know what? Maybe she's been through this. Maybe she had, I don't know. Maybe she had drug problems. Maybe Cam learned a lot of his bad habits from his mother. Um, maybe. I don't know. But if that is true and she has possibly cleaned up, then she would know. She would know. And she might not want your kids to go through the same thing that you guys dealt with, whether it was her fault or not. People can redeem themselves. And hopefully the details of whatever it is that you guys are going through, or the details of whatever is happening within those filings. Well, let's see here. All right. So state the reason you're requesting temporary relief. Parents on drugs, children raising themselves, house not fit to live there, being evicted. Well, the charges seem to be a bit bigger than that. She's only asking for temporary custody. I don't see any child support order. Will she get some from social services? Yes. Of course she will. And she deserves to. I do want to mention, and Shannon, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate it. And Darzil has been one for 3 months now. You don't lose custody just over what somebody says. Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form is that how it works. It's never worked that way. It'll never work that way. Dawn and Candace weren't scammed by CPS. Cam and Allie will have their day in court to prove that they are not what they have been accused of. Good luck, because it's going to be a tough battle, just from what I've seen on the internet. I hope that they're not true, and I hope that everything that's done is for the benefit of the children. But children do not belong in houses where people are actively addicted to drugs. Pills, meth, crack, whatever it is. Alcohol is bad enough and should be considered in the same realm as what this is. But how the hell are you going to help find a little girl when you have these internal battles that you're fighting with your own family? I just don't see it. There's a reason that Dawn and Candace bonded with Cam and Allie. I don't know that reason. I'll let you figure that out. There's a reason that Dawn has bonded with another guy that I won't speak of, who's sitting his ass in jail right now too. None of this is coincidence, and none of this is, I mean, these are their people. This is who they enjoy talking to. This is who they enjoy talking with. And that's totally fine. I do feel bad if this is the case, and if what it says on there, the parents are on drugs, the house isn't fit, and they're being evicted. Those things can be fixed. They really can. The one good thing about CPS, if you don't believe it, is that they will give you an opportunity. And I don't believe that they'll be any different, but Don and Candace didn't really get that opportunity because they were never going to get their kids back. I don't know the details of this, but Cam and Allie could potentially get their children back if they go along with what they're told to do. But these excuses are going to do nothing but push their children further out of their reach. You deal with this and then you move on, and you can deal with it. If you can deal with it for anybody, it should be your children. I do believe that. I think that drugs turn good people into bad people. I know it for a fact. I've seen it. I have a cousin that's in rehab right now. I love him dearly. I can't stand to be around him. We grew up together. His mother was shot, just like my mother. She survived. My dad shot her too. And then his mother, who had issues her whole life, to this day, he blames her for those issues. You don't think I know what I'm talking about? I know what I'm talking about. I've been around it. You know, VZ, dude, I think the bigger question is, when your personal life is that bad, why are you on YouTube trying to help others when you need to help yourself? That's all I'm saying. Let me see. Sarah Wood became a YouTube member. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Appreciate you being here. Darzilla says, I took custody of my 2 grandkids for the same reason. I know how it works. First thing that happened is they had to take a drug test. Oh, of course. If you're accused of being on drugs, the first thing that they'll do is they'll piss test you. They'll bring you in right away. If they would have passed that drug test, I'm assuming that they wouldn't lose custody. But it sounds like the allegations could have some merit. That's just my opinion. And Kim, I can't pronounce your last name, Kim, but I will figure it out somehow. Became a YouTube member. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Yes, both were arrested. And yes, there is always hope. They take blood. Well, look, Penny Lane, I don't know if, look, I've been accused of the same thing. So whatever. I get it. People say, well, but praying for justice and protection for the kids. Love America, member for 6 months. And that is exactly what we're talking about here, folks. It's about their children. It's about the children. And like I said, I don't want any details of the children. I don't want their ages. I don't want their names. I don't want to know where they live. I don't want to know anything about that. But what I do want to say is, how are you going to help little Summer, her brothers, her parents, when you've been dealing with your own stuff? I don't get it. The motion for removal is after the offense date. I'm guessing the kids would have also had hair follicle testing to discern if they were exposed to environmental drug use in his home. That's a very common thing as well. Thank you so much for saying that. But yeah, that's true as well. They would absolutely want to know if they had been exposed. And Cam is saying that he's like, yeah, I did drugs in the house, but like at some point, no. It's not how it works. Not how it works. I agree. Take care of your own household before getting in the middle of others. This is look, Cam and Allie have been quite the voice in the Summerwells case. I don't know, back and forth. I don't know. I don't know where they stood or ended up standing with Dawn and Candace. I stopped watching. I was having trouble watching Cam fall asleep on live, and he did. Most of you know. I saw it myself, and Sandra says, "I really hope that people who send them money understand what you're saying. Some will, some won't." I hate slow mo. I have to do it. I have to do it because people come in here and they just spam and spam. It's just a constant thing. I hate it. It says YouTube creators talk about their personal lives all the time, and subs appreciate the truth of that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know what if it is whatever, but it's so sad that I'm thankful to anybody that talks about Summer and keeps her name out there and makes for some just I mean they absolutely did, especially in the beginning, advocate for Summer, but I mean this isn't it. This is a bad look, and it's rough, and I truly with all my heart hope that those children first and foremost are okay, and I do hope that Cam and Allie, whatever is going on, gets solved and fixed and your family's reunited if possible. That's the best case scenario. That's the best case scenario. I just don't know. I don't know you like that. I don't know if that's a possibility or not. I hope it is. I know that drugs turn people into terrible decision making humans just like that. Drugs drugs just do things to people and make people do things that they would never normally do under any circumstances ever. Josh, thanks so much for covering this. It's important. I know it's uneasy. I'm not having a blast here, folks. I'm really not. I don't really take any glee in this. I just don't understand, the what really kind of annoyed me was the excuses that started coming out. That's what really annoyed me, to be honest with you. Um, I'm not better than Cam and Allie. I'm not looking my nose down on Cam and Allie. I'm sure that some people will feel like I am. I'm not. Um, Cam has not actually been particularly nasty to me ever. He's been condescending and kind of a jerk off sometimes, but I'm sure I've done the same. None of it's personal at all. But what I really get tired of is just people saying that Doug used to say that bullshit all the time. I'm a child advocate. It's like, dude, you don't even have your children. Guys, you don't have your children. How are we advocating for children when we're not advocating for our own children? You advocate for your own children first. I go long stretches sometimes without being on YouTube because I'm dealing with my family. Because they're who I advocate for first. Let's advocate for our own children. That way, CPS and mother in laws and mothers and fathers aren't having to be drugged when they call something out. Come on. This isn't drama. This isn't this isn't like, oh God. I mean, this is serious stuff. Child advocates. Just advocate for your own life first. That's all I'm trying to do. That's why I'm telling you, I don't cover kid cases anymore. The Summer and Michael are the last. Oh, I'm going to cover Delphi. But after all that, I can't do kid cases anymore. I just can't, because I don't have it in me to properly discuss it, because it takes something out of me. Every time. It takes a lot out of me. Just like it does you guys. I don't want to cover kid cases. I don't want to call myself a child advocate when I've probably done more advocating for children than most people have ever done, because I grew up in that system. I was forced to sit in those little circles with everybody. Talk about your feelings. What happened? What'd your parents do? What? I don't want to. Every child advocacy that I've ever taken on has never been an internet thing. It's just not. Summer's the exception. Michael's the exception. These aren't things that I typically go around. I'm not looking for missing kids. I'm not a searcher. But I do want to say the truth and how I feel. And when I feel like people are being led in the wrong direction, I'll speak up if I think that that's the case. That's me. I'm not a child advocate, and neither are you, Cam and Allie. We got to advocate for our own children first. And I sincerely hope that you do. But like I said, when it comes to missing children cases, I can't. There's so many other people out there that are just willing to do it. I don't know for what reason. I think it's because people, are attracted to that kind of thing because they want to feel like they're helping. And sometimes I just don't feel like I'm helping. Sometimes I feel like I cause more problems than help or distract or whatever. I don't have that in me. I'm telling you, I'm not cut out for it. I'm not made for it. I'll see, I'll cover Summer's case. When it's done, I'm done. Michael as well. When it's done, I'm done. It's no more. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It's YouTube, it's the internet. It's a show. It's posturing. It's entertaining. It's not right. And I feel bad that Cam had a bad childhood. I don't know anything about Allie's childhood. I feel bad for anybody that's had a bad childhood, but that excuse sucks. That excuse sucks. It's lame. Get over it. And that's coming from me. Get over it. Shit happens. It's just the excuses, man. It's the excuses. Cam, you're not the victim anymore. Allie, you're not the victim anymore. You guys aren't victims. I'm not a victim. I survived. And so did you. You made it out of your parents' house. You made it away. And now you guys aren't victims. Do what you got to do. Get your kids back. I pray that you will. Yeah, the funny thing is, active addiction, denial, excuses, 100%. There's no doubt about it. We hear this all the time. All the time. But we all have choices. Everybody's got a choice. I've made major mistakes in my life. Major mistakes. I'm sure I'll continue to make mistakes. Um, but I'm hoping not to. And I really hope that nothing like this ever happens again for them or the children. You know how traumatic this is for children. You know how traumatic this is. And then to make it, all about you. It's not okay. It's about your kids. And I don't, like I said, I don't know you guys, but if the charges that they have levied against you are just those, and that wording, by the way, is extremely troubling. If that is the case, and that's what it is, the drugs and not fit and losing your housing, that is enough to lose your children. But I don't believe that rises to the occasion of you lose your children forever. I don't believe that. True Cowgirl said children should always come first. I agree. Thank you for that. Peyton has become a YouTube member. She hates slow mode. That's why you're there. You can see Peyton. I have a lab addiction. I was thinking of revisiting the lab's breakdown on Morphew case body found and saw Josh was live. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that was more to come. Oh, yeah. And I am going to talk a little bit of Delphi, not tonight, but tomorrow on the lab. So if you guys are interested, Janier, what's up, Janier? How you doing? It's good to see you. No way I'd want to live in your shoes as a child, Josh. I've talked about it before, and I'll just briefly again, because this isn't about me either at all. Trust me, it's not. But growing up knowing that you can't trust even your own father to do the right thing by you is not a good way to come up in life. It's just not. And I have quote unquote trust issues. I'll have them for the rest of my life. I struggle with people liking me. I'm much more comfortable if somebody doesn't for some reason. I don't know. It's an easy out. something that I'm working on. Um, and a lot of this, to be honest with you, is kind of therapeutic for me as well, because I'm able to kind of voice what I need to say, and um, it can be therapeutic at times. And at times, it's just like, oh my God. To Penny Lane. I will. I will. Now, yeah, it's tough. So I've been very comfortable being not, it's like, well, if somebody doesn't like you, well, that's cool, because then I don't have to appreciate that. That was the thing, especially being younger. It's like, I don't want to get close. I don't want to get close to you. I don't want to know you. I don't need to. And so, as bad as my childhood was, it could have been worse. And I had some good people kind of pull me out of a dark place, uh, very, very early on. So I hope that Cam and Ali can redeem themselves, and maybe they can. Because, like I said, I'm not this. Cam, Ali, if you listen to this and you want any advice at all from somebody who was that child, just own it and fix it. And that's all you can do. That's it. There's nothing else to do. Just fix it. Own it and fix it, because you can. I hope you can, for your children's sake, not for yours.